Hello, people. How's it going? How's it going? It's sunny today, but it's cold. Anyway, yeah, this is a pretty good book. This is a pretty good book. Um, well, first let me read a little bit about the author. Let's see. Captain-By.T.Hara, probably saying it wrong, October 16th, 1900, October 10th, 1980, was an Imperial Japanese naval commander during the Pacific War over 2 hours, and the author of the IJN, Imperial Japanese Navy Manual on Torpedo Attack Techniques. Notable for his skills in torpedo warfare and night fighting, Hara is the only Imperial Japanese naval destroyer captain at the start of the war to survive the entire war. Think about that. He's the only one. He's the only one left. And his memoirs, of course, is an important source for historians. He was a captain, years of service, 1921 to 1945, 1979. Battles and wars, World War II, Pacific War, the Battle of Java, the Java Sea, Battle of Midway, the Battle of Eastern Solomons, Battle of the Santa Cruz Islands, Naval Battle of Guadalcanal, Battle of Aero Gulf, Battle of Harani, Naval Battle of Valelia, Battle of Empress Augustine, and Operation Tento. He's also the guy who cut JFK's PT boat in half. Yeah, this is the guy who cut John F. Kennedy's PT boat in half. He's the guy who ran him over. But anyway, I digress. I did like this. I did like this book very much. I did. I liked it. I like reading about the other side, the memoirs of the war, and how they viewed things, and how they saw things. I think he does a fairly decent job of criticizing the Imperial Japanese Navy, the military, the government. He probably doesn't go far enough because a lot of these people are still, some of these people are still alive, and it's probably just being nice. One does get the impression, though, that he's holding back on some of the criticisms of his own government and his own. Let's just say I don't think he's being completely open about everything, which is probably understandable because the Japanese view the war very differently than Americans or Europeans do. His opinion, because he does make one, on the Nanking Massacre, not really go over very well, because he really doesn't put as much, he doesn't make it out to be as bad as it's claimed to be. That kind of threw me off, and even, it kind of says, okay, he killed us, but it was, sir, and he does a very good job, I think, of just talking about his career. He does a very good job. He does early life, of his career, of the different personalities, of the different admirals he had to deal with, the different captains he had to deal with the different destroyers he was part of. He does a very good personal character study of the Japanese Navy, of a Japanese man at war. Is it sanitized? I would say it is a little bit. A lot of the Japanese in the Navy were not any qualms of killing prisoners. He doesn't record any of this. Also, a lot of this book takes place during the Solomon Island campaign. Actually, most of this book is the Solomon Island campaign and Guadalcanal, which is basically still part of that in my mind. I mean, I know it's about, it says back here, Jack's destroyer captain and his account of some of the famous actions of the history of warfare. Well, he wasn't, they named Midway. He wasn't at Midway. He wasn't at Coral Sea. But that's the advertising for the book. But for the most part, this is a pretty good memoir. Is it perfect? Do I think he's completely upfront and honest about some things? And again, what memoir is? You gotta remember, he is trying to save face. He is trying to paint a little less how the Imperial Japanese Navy actually did some of the things they did. And some of the things they did to the prisoners they caught were war crimes. But overall, this is a good book. If you like World War II history, if you like the study of the other side, this book is a must. This book is good. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. The best way to put it is, I think he tries to be balanced in his criticisms of his own government's navy and military, and it's balanced when he's criticizing also the U.S. Navy. Um, I wish there were more details in it, though. So one thing about the book, I wish there were more details, maybe more personal details, maybe a little more openness, maybe a little more. I don't want to say he's lying, because I don't think he's lying. I think he's just not digging as deep as I wish he would. But I don't think he's really explaining things as deep as I think he could. It's a good book, don't get me wrong, it is good. It is a historical document. It is very good for historians to read because it does talk about the Japanese side of the war, but you do get the impression that he's really holding back a lot. But it is an interesting book. I like it. I like World War II history. I'm always interested in reading the other side's story. I knew a German soldier who fought on the Russian front, and I liked his side of the story because he was interesting. I'm glad to have him as a friend. Fought for the Germans, went all the way to Moscow. It's a, as I keep saying, it is a good book. It is worth reading. Don't go into it expecting a lot of over details, too many in-depth details, is what I should say. Don't expect too many in-depth details, really, on a lot of things you probably wish you would go into the in-depth details with, but he's not going to. It's kind of a very clear-cut, by the numbers, this happened, this person, that person did this, that, and the other. There are some good human moments. There are some good personal moments. There are some, behind the scenes moments. Which I kind of wish there were more. I kind of wish this book was bigger. Pictures. Some of this family. But I just, I don't know if you can see that very well. But yeah, he is the fellow who cut JFK's PTA book in half. He is the guy who cut that book. There's the JFK book. One by one. I can get CJFK. That's what he did. He's the guy who sliced the boat right now. Lieutenant Jack Kennedy almost lost his life on August 1st, 1943, when one of Captain-By.T.Hara's destroyers cut his torpedo boat in half. Showing her his PT-109 sister ship of the craft and rather commanded. So, yeah. Let's see if any pictures that actually come out. I can actually show you. And there's the Yamamoto, the largest battleship ever made. Battleship Yamamoto, 72,000-ton pride of the Imperial Navy, sailed from the inland sea on August 6, 1945, on a suicide mission to attack U.S. ships off Okinawa. Next day, she was caught off at sea by 386 carrier-based planes from a Task Force 58 and severely pounded. Hera, I don't like keep saying Hera for. Hera was Yahagi was sunk that same afternoon and saw the great battleship racked by gigantic explosions. When the smoke cleared, the Yamato was gone. They sank it. It's kind of a map of the Yamato. Anything with that reflection. I tried. The picture looks a lot better though. I like the book. Don't get me wrong. I just wish that it was more detailed. That there were more details. That it would be a little more in depth. But you do get the impression that he's kind of holding back a little bit. I mean, he probably was. I mean, it's the Japanese way of doing things. They're not going to admit to something. They're just not. Let's see. Military career. I think I didn't mention. Major wartime actions during Captain-Hara participated in 14 major actions. The air raid against America's naval base at Davao on Mindanao, the Philippines, December 8, 1941. Its sporting aircraft carrier Rigu, a complete fiasco as no American ships were found. Invasion of Davao on December 20th, 1941. An easy Japanese victory as the base was already almost completely evacuated. Invasion of the Ambon Islands, January 30th to February 3rd, 1942. Japanese victory. Battle of Java Sea, February 27th, 28th, 1942. Another Japanese victory. Invasion of the Christmas Islands, March 31st, 1942. An easy Japanese victory as British garrison surrendered without resistance. Battle of Midway, June 4th to 7th, 1942. Japanese defeat. Battle on the Eastern Solomons, August 24th, 25th, 1942. A serious Japanese defeat. Battle of Santa Cruz Islands, October 26th, 1942. Costly Japanese victory. Naval Battle of Guadalcanal, which America lost. No, we didn't. We almost lost that. They were saying it was a fiasco. Battle of Guadalcanal, November 13th, 1942. A costly Japanese defeat. Barely won. The Battle of Villa Gulf, August 6th, 1943. A crushing Japanese defeat. The Battle of Horiano, August 17th, 1943. Inclusive. Battle of Villa La Villa, October 6th, 1943. The last Japanese naval victory of the war. The Battle of Empress Augusta Bay, November 1st to the 2nd, 1943. Heavy Japanese defeat. Operation Tengo, April 7th, 1945. The crushing defeat is when they were escorting my facts here. Operation Tengo, known as Operation Heaven One, was the last major Japanese naval operation in the Pacific War during World War II. In April 1945, the Japanese battleship Yamato, the largest battleship in the world, and it was used. And 9 other Japanese warships embarked for Japan for a suicide attack on Allied forces engaged in the Battle of Okinawa. The Japanese force was attacked by the U.S. carrier-borne aircraft from both the Rico Yamato and 5 other Japanese warships were sunk. Let's see. The casualties, let's see, over 4,000 Japanese were killed. Yamato was sunk, the Ayahagi was sunk, 4 destroyers were sunk, 1 destroyer severely damaged, 100 aircraft destroyed. I mean, they really couldn't afford to fight the war, but they kept on going. But anyway, this book, as much as I wish it were longer and more detailed and maybe a little more honest and maybe a little more open on certain things, is worth the effort to read. It is not too bad. I would give it a B, but I'm interested in this because one is the Japanese side of the war, and one side never really gives 100% the honest truth of anything. But anyway, good book, excellent book. It's not a bad book. I mean, it's not very good. There's a picture of the Japanese destroyer. It's a good book. It begins with his early life and ends at the war. In other words, I like it. And then again, I like World War II. It is my favorite part of history to study. So his comment on the Nanking massacre will probably rub a lot of people, most of the Chinese, the very wrong way. He doesn't seem to think much of it, or isn't going to admit that he doesn't think much of it. But anyway, that's the Japanese mindset. They don't acknowledge these things. They just don't. It's a very different psychology than Western Europeans. But as I said, worth reading if you can find it. funny thing is, I was watching another YouTube channel, and they were talking about books. And he was talking about this one. I said, I gotta find that book. About a week or so later, I found it in a half-price bookstore. But anyway, I'm gonna try to do another video in about an hour or so, maybe 30 minutes. Maybe another history. Thank you for watching. Thank you. Behave yourselves. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Sparrows, freeloaders, freeloading birds. I've had a few blue jays land there this week, though, which is cool. I like blue jays. All right, behave yourselves, people. You know I'm not going to. See you later. See you later.